Hello everyone and welcome back to 9/11 TruthCraft. Today we're going to investigate some very strange events that took place north of World Trade Center 7. 9/11 TruthCraft is a video series for people like me who want to know what really happened on 9/11. So what I'm going to start out doing today is a bit fun. I need to destroy some things. I'm not liking the look of my home as I've built it here in my little model of the Ground Zero at 75 West Street. It's about the right shape, but it's not made of the right materials. Well, you can tell I live in New York City because of the sirens in the background, but I'm just going to continue on. The sad thing is that I found a testificate I put here. And, yeah, sorry, buddy. Your minutes are numbered. Your days are numbered. Your minutes are numbered, buddy. And this is cute here. He's trying to trade me a hoe for 7 emeralds, a diamond hoe for 7 emeralds, but I don't want it. I'm blowing the place up. So yeah, I filled my old residence filled to the brim with TNT because I really want to redo it, so I'm just gonna blow it up. And here she goes. Wait for it. Run! Very satisfying. Okay, yeah, and I had to get rid of a couple of buildings that were slightly out of whack, a little to the north, and so, yeah, I'm going to go set them on fire. But let me tell you what I want to talk to you about today. Here are the buildings. So I'm going to read to you a few little captions and excerpts from a very important book. It's called Where Did the Towers Go? And it's written by Dr. Judy Wood. The book isn't perfect, but it is excellent for what it is. It is an excellent compendium of events that took place on 9/11. So what Dr. Wood has done is she has collected and compiled a large amount of evidence that must be explained by any mechanism of destruction that is suggested for what destroyed the World Trade Center. Here she goes. She's burning. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about some interesting things, specifically having to do with anomalously destroyed vehicles. Vehicles that were destroyed in a very strange way. And it happened really in 2 locations north of World Trade Center 7. And pretty much nobody knows about this, or a few people do now since she's written her book, Where Did the Towers Go? But even in the book, it's not quite clear where these little areas of anomalously destroyed vehicles are located. So that's kind of what I want to focus on in this episode. So as we watch the buildings burn, yes, okay, so from the center of Ground Zero, I guess it's safe now, all the fire's done, I can take Helen and Paris with me, but from the center of Ground Zero, it's just north. It's west of the Verizon building, and here we go, we're zooming sort of, yeah. So to the left is a parking lot that we're going to be talking about, just west of the Verizon building, and also to the north, right there on the right. These 2 areas, that is West Broadway to the right, and a parking lot to the north, but it hasn't been clear up to now, really, where these lots are located, and I think really taking a good close look at how close these areas really are tells you that something strange happened here, and we'll get to that soon. Now what I'm going to do here is just present to you the images that you can find on drjudywood.com, Wood's website, and I'm going to read to you the captions as they are written on the website, and then later on we'll discuss kind of my analysis. The tires and even the pavement under the car are on fire. The windows appear to be intact with no visible interior fire. There was a line of fire along the trunk lid. The right front fender is deformed and has turned white. Why doesn't the paper burn? cars parked in the back suffered extensive damage. The car on the left and on the far right look like they have had their engines eaten. The cars in the foreground experienced less damage, but many windows are missing. However, partial and whole windows also remain. After WTC-2 was destroyed, there don't appear to be any fires. The dust cloud from the destruction of WTC-1 rolls towards the parking lot. Just after WTC-1 is destroyed, fires start to burn the vehicles in the large lot, but not the paper. Why? The vehicle fires increased in strength as sunlight begins to emerge from the clearing dust cloud. The air upwind of the World Trade Center has visibly become clearer. The vehicle fires continue increasing and flames can be seen. The air has cleared after the destruction of World Trade Center 1. This area would be first to clear as it is upwind of the World Trade Center. The fire in the toasted lot has increased in strength, consistent with it having just started. So she's saying that you can see where the wind's blowing. The air is clear here because the wind is blowing there. The fire in the toasted lot has increased in strength, which is consistent with it having just started. Sunlight begins streaming through the intersection. The intersection and the grassy lot are covered with paper and dust that did not burn. So what caused the vehicles to suddenly catch fire? How did these cars catch on fire? Gone with the wind. At the corner of West and Vesey, looking south towards the World Trade Center complex, WTC-1 was just destroyed, and the people are cautiously emerging from their hiding places and slowly approaching the site with puzzled looks on their faces. Where'd it go? A view west along Vesey Street along West Street intersection. The toasted parking lot is on the right in the distance. This is after WTC-1 was destroyed. Sunlight is visible on the World Financial Center 3 on left. Paper in the foreground is not on fire. Why are the vehicles in the parking lot on fire at some distance away? Toasted cars in the lot northwest of the World Trade Center complex. There is little visible rust, so the photo was probably within a day or two of 9/11/01. Not much visible rust yet. The rust is noticeable. A lot more rust. Towing finally begins. Presumably these cars are finally being towed away from that lot. Those wheels look fairly good, which means they probably aren't steel. Judy Wood has produced an important body of work, and any serious student of 9/11 needs to become familiar with her work, either buying the book Where Did the Towers Go or taking a look at her website. But I have to say that her work is incomplete. And if you read the book itself, Where Did the Towers Go, it doesn't really connect all of the dots. So there's more to be said about 9/11 than what is contained within her book. Nevertheless, she brings up something very important when it comes to these cars, these anomalously destroyed cars. There's nothing about an airplane crash on the top floors of the World Trade Center that would result in these cars being on fire several blocks away. I mean, there really isn't. So some kind of alternative explanation is forced simply by the presence of these cars. The evidence that indicates that these cars were destroyed in this manner forces some kind of alternative explanation to the World Trade Center destruction that cannot be ascribed to a plane crash. More beeping. It's New York. Construction going on everywhere. But getting back to my point, I'm going to take a sec break. Hold on. Well, I guess the beeps are not going to stop, so I'll just continue on. My point is that she uses terminology that I don't like. She calls these anomalously destroyed cars, she says that they're toasted cars. And I don't like that because toasted implies heat. Everyone knows what you do to bread to toast it. you add heat. And so calling these cars toasted cars is, I think, leading people in the wrong direction, even though she admits that she doesn't mean literally toasted when she uses the phrase. But she also describes the cars as if they were on fire. And don't get me wrong, it certainly looks that they are on fire. But my research, not all of which has been presented so far in this series, my research indicates that it was a low temperature process that destroyed the World Trade Center. And so overall, I think calling it a fire helps to kind of label what's going on. But in the end, I don't think that referring to it as a fire is effective, because the point is that advanced weaponry was used. So, you know, the people on the street, you see them in some of these pictures here, they were not burned from the dust cloud rollout. So it wasn't a hot process. And I think referring to those cars as toasted cars is a big mistake. And it's leading people in the wrong direction. However, those cars were anomalously damaged. Don't get me wrong. She's made a very important discovery that we need to focus on these cars. Nothing about an airplane crash several blocks away is going to destroy these cars in the way that they were destroyed, as well as cause rusting. She pointed out the rust, and if you stay tuned to this series, you'll find that I'm very focused on the rust as well. So, as usual, I'm running out of time, but I want to continue this topic in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe or make a donation on my PayPal. Thanks a lot.